Lesni Vila is the first European location that you're gonna unlock, filled mostly with fish from the carp family. Although you can skip this place entirely, the exploration missions are still worth doing because they're fairly easy, you gain quite a little bit of money, and the tackle you unlock will help you to build a bottom setup faster. The setups you will need are the float setup that you started the game with, and for the secondary setup, you will need to be at least level 7 and buy this rod with this reel. We will then buy a 15-gram cage feeder, the very first one, and buy these bells, which after level 14 you can switch to these bells, and this mono leader. As for the line, we are gonna use the line that we have won from the Lonestar exploration. As you can see right here, the mono leader that we bought is actually underpowered for our current setup. That is because unfortunately at level 7 there's no other better option. However, this is gonna be a temporary solution, because as soon as we're gonna finish the exploration 1, we're gonna get much better leaders, which we'll then be able to use to complete our setup. We will also need the number 8 hook, the number 4 hook, and the number 1 hook. For baits, we will need red worms, dough balls, and small minnows. Optionally, you could buy bread with honey or pearl barley, but they are not really necessary. You could also go right here to ground baits, feeder, and buy this crimson cold water, but it's completely optional and not necessary. If you are struggling with space inventory, you can go to shop, tools and equipments, waistcoats, and you can treat yourself with a vest, or you can buy a tackle box so you can expand your backpack storage. And I highly recommend that you buy this mono stand as well. For the first hotspot, we're gonna go to the other side, and you won't be actually able to place your rod stand on this wooden platform, so just go right here in this corner and place it here. For both setups, we're gonna use number 8 hooks, and on your bottom setup, you're gonna put dough balls. Although completely optional, you can use ground bait by simply dragging the bag onto the feeder cage, although that's gonna use the entire bag. Or you can click on this recipe tab, go to an empty recipe, find your feeder ground bait, and just use either half of the bag or a quarter of the bag. This way you can be much more economical with your ground bait, and after you mix it, go back to your feeder setup, click right here on this tab that has everything ground bait related, and just drag your mix into the feeder cage. That's all you have to do. For your float setup, you're gonna put red worms. We're gonna take the bottom setup first, we're gonna bring the tension to the 3rd notch, and we're gonna cast right here in the middle, and take note of the depth, 1.4 meters. So for the float setup, we're gonna set the depth to just above the bottom. Press 11 and cast in the same place where you had your bottom. All the fish that you need for the first exploration mission you will find right here. No need to move anywhere else. Just keep fishing here until you get all of them. If you're struggling with the perch, use only red worms, but change the hook to a number 4. Well, unfortunately the perch is proving really difficult. It seems that the perch really doesn't like this type of weather in Lesni Vila. So I'm actually gonna change the hotspot one more time. We're gonna go all the way to the end on this left side. Right here between these lily pads. Finally, it took so long. Now that we finally finished exploration 1, we've obtained this stronger leader, so we can complete our feeder setup and move on to exploration number 2. Now, we no longer require these leaders, we can actually delete them, and use these stronger leaders instead. Before you do anything, click on the scissors icon and adjust the length to 60 centimeters. Then, equip your hook number 1 and equip doubles. For your float setup, equip number 8 and some cheap bait like doubles or anything else you might have like bread with honey. To catch common and mirror carp, spawn once again at the other side, turn right, place your rod stand here, and you will often see them jumping in this general area. Before casting out, don't forget to increase your drag setting with the plus and minus keys. For the float setup, you can just simply cast here and keep on farming. Alright, now that we have the carps, we're gonna move hotspot, we're gonna turn right and go almost all the way to the end. We're gonna stop right here and cast in between these lily pads, right in between them. We're gonna change the hook size, number 8, with red worms. Same thing, number 8 and red worms. And on my float setup, I'm actually gonna go to 220 centimeters. Now, for the pike, we're gonna use only the feeder rod. We're gonna equip number 1 hook with small minnows, and we're gonna remove the mix. We will not be using the float rod because a float rod can't actually cast small minnows. For the hotspot, spawn once again at the other side. Turn left and we'll go all the way to the end. Right here, we're gonna place the rod stand and we're gonna cast here. Well, unfortunately, the pike is proving to be really difficult as well. It can bite on the bottom setup with the small minnows. It actually should work really great. If you're also having issues, you could go back and take your value spin together with a casting spoon, either a number 2 or a number 1, and just cast in this direction. Easy peasy with the spoon. It's unfortunate that it's not as easy on the bottom. Now that we finished the exploration missions, we finally have a good feeder setup and we have obtained this mini bass jig that, although a bit useless, it is still very good to farm bass in Lonestar and even in mudwater. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you on the next one. Tight lines.